Hello, I'm a lady of Westeros, and I'm so glad that you could join me here today. This is your spoiler warning. There will be spoilers ahead. So, if you do not want to be spoiled, back away now. Welcome back for another deep dive into the world of George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire, as well as HBO's show A House of the Dragon. Today we'll be looking at the intriguing characters of Nettles and Princess Rhaena, as well as a potential storyline involving the dragon Sheepstealer. Let's dive in. First, let's look at these two characters. Nettles and Princess Rhaena are in stark contrast to each other, both in their roles in the Targaryen dynasty as well as their backgrounds. Nettles is a dragon seed. A dragon seed is a term used for the illegitimate children of Targaryens, Valerians, or anyone that would have connection and blood of old Valyria. She is known for her wild nature and independent spirit, and against all odds she was able to claim the dragon Sheepstealer by feeding him a sheep every day until he was able to accept her. There is not much known about Nettles' background other than what little bit I just said, pretty much. We know that she lived on the streets and had to fend for herself from a very young age. Princess Rhaena, on the other hand, was the legitimate daughter of Prince Daemon Targaryen and Lady Laena Valerian. She was a dragon rider as well in the books, having claimed the dragon Morning. She was portrayed more as a political figure moving through the court with ease, with grace, and having many lords and knights doting on her. Okay, so last we left Princess Rhaena on the HBO show House of the Dragon. She was in the Vale face to face with Sheepstealer, looking like she's going to claim him. I do not want to see that storyline progress. Not like that. I very much want to see Nettles. I very much want to see Morning, Rhaena's dragon that she is supposed to claim. So let's imagine that they give us kind of what we want. I'm hoping they do. So let's use our imagination and hope for the best. Okay, that during the face to face, Rhaena is unable to claim him for whatever reason, mostly because it's not her dragon. Okay, he belongs to someone else, but she's unable to get him, and she has to return to the Vale. Maybe the knights have to swoop in and save her because she's been injured by Sheepstealer for trying to claim a dragon yet again. And she returns to the Vale, and word reaches her that her little brothers that she abandoned to go sail the high seas with their wet nurses a few nights in a ship of sailors who knows where their loyalties really lie, who knows if they can be bought, if put in danger. Are they going to try to protect these little boys, or just put down their swords and say, hey, I'm not trying to get into this? So she left them alone. Rhaenyra and Daemon are not going to be very happy about this, I do not think. And Rhaena may just simply need some time to lay low so she doesn't feel the wrath of the dragon. Okay, because Rhaenyra is going to be spitting fire when this thing over here goes down, and poor Aegon and Viserys. It's awful, right? Those that know. I'm not trying to give too many spoilers away. But and who knows how HBO will do the ship scene and the show. So with that, Rhaena is in the Vale recovering. Daemon and Rhaenyra are probably livid with her for abandoning bleh, can't speak tonight, abandoning her little brothers. And so she's going to have to lay low, and that would give her time to maybe have one of those dragon eggs hatch if they're not on the ship to be lost with the little brothers. It's like, Rhaena, what did you do? So, with that, Rhaena is in the Vale with the Lady Jane, which hopefully, they could give us some Lady Jane. She seemed pretty cool. So, and the Vale's always kind of cool. It's different, See if we can see anyone fly. But she'll be there, and that will give Sheepstealer the opportunity to fly away home and find Nettles. So, meanwhile, back on Dragonstone, having left the Vale, having been disturbed by Princess Rhaena, Sheepstealer flies off and returns home, back to where he, in the story, seems to be mostly located until Nettles claims him. So, as he returns home and goes back to his spot, who does he stumble upon but Nettles? This would give a nice twist to the tale and could provide a little thrilling spot for the storyline where Nettles is able to bond with Sheepstealer and we are still able to get that part of the story to allow her to claim her place within the Targaryen dynasty and in history and in story and in song like we know of her. So fingers crossed, Sheepstealer comes home and finds our girl Nettles, who is just sitting there waiting for him for some way or another. We'll get into that in a minute. So that scenario would not only give Nettles her significant story back, but it would sidestep Rhaena's claiming of Sheepstealer. Something, again, I personally don't want to see, and it seems like online a lot of people don't want to see. They want Nettles. So again, here's hoping. And with Rhaena in the Vale, either laying low, recovering, however that could go down, it would open up a new storyline and maybe some interesting developments in the Eyrie and with Lady Jane. Away from the immediate chaos of the whole fighting and battle and worry, she could make some strategic alliances. She could somehow befriend Lady Jane, which I don't know, they seem a little at odds, but it could work. And it would also give Rhaena a lot of the storyline that she had within the books, where she does spend time in the Vale and is courted by a couple of lords and some of the knights and stuff because she does eventually get the dragon morning and she's a Targaryen princess and who wouldn't want to like try to be cool, especially if you were already allied with Rhaenyra and Daemon. And for her to maybe even get back in the good graces of Rhaenyra and Daemon as she does work some political strategy, um, lures in a knight or two that are willing to fight for them even harder, gets Lady Jane to send out even more knights to help the cause, help the battles, whatever, But it would be, I think, a lot more interesting story for Rhaena's character to do that than to claim Sheepstealer and adjust the story too much because there's always the butterfly effect. When you change one thing, it ripples throughout. And I would like to think that because Martin is a little bit more involved in this one and the director is a massive fanboy himself, that he will do us right and we will get Nettles and we will get some of the Game of Thrones nitty gritty political intrigue in the Vale as Rhaena is doing what she can to get Lady Jane even more on her stepmother and father's side. Again, she's got some bridges to build and refix because she burnt some stuff when she left her little baby bros. So Raina's got some stuff to do, and this would allow her character to be maybe fuller developed because this last season, what little bit we did get of Raina, I didn't personally like. She seemed very sullen and sad and sulking, and I I would like to see her character more like in the books, where she is a thinker, she is a planner, she be working it, becoming part of the court that will later in life help her and her family even more when certain people aren't around to help the next in line. I believe that a storyline such as this, or at least something similar, would not only highlight the differences between Neville's character and Princess Rhaena's, but that it would also enrich both of their character arches. It would allow Nettles to take her place as a key player in this story with Sheepstealer by her side, as well as giving Rhaena the ability to journey through recovery if she is injured, as well as journey through the maneuvering of court life and learning political strategy and building her character that way and making her character more in depth, not just claiming a dragging, claiming a dragon, which turns her character into something totally different. Kind of, I guess, what they are going with Aemond. With as soon as he claimed Vagar, he changed from a sweet little boy to a mean, cold guy that's kind of grown up to be a little crazy. But I think that with this storyline, or again something similar, it would allow Nettles and Rhaena's characters to be fleshed out even more, and again staying a little bit more true to their character arches within the story that Martin wrote in Fire and Blood. So I'm going to close out things with just my final thoughts. I myself did not enjoy much of Princess Rhaena's scenes this last season. She was either sitting with the children or talking to Rhaenyra for like 2 seconds, or running through the veil for the better half of the last little bit. As I said, I really don't like that she abandoned her little brothers. That just really, what the heck, girl? For me, I don't like that. But with her, she came across as very shy, very timid, and a very bold and fierce family. And I do get it. Her family is dragon riders, and she's dragonless at the moment. And then you take into account who her mother was. Lady Laena, Road Vagar, died in Fire and Blood. Her grandmother, the queen who never was, Princess Rhaenys. And then you think about all the different other individuals throughout their family line from Aegon the Conqueror on up. There is their standards. I guess you could say that they expect the best of the best, and they're expected to be dragon riders, and it would bug me too. I'm sure I want a dragon, and I ain't even got nobody in my family with dragons. I want one, so I could get Rhaena wanting one so very bad that she can just taste it. But the decisions that she has made in trying to claim her dragons has proven her unworthiness at the moment to claim someone such as Sheepstealer. Um, I don't like the shyness. I don't. Okay, I want her to be bold and fierce and come into her own. And to come into her own, I don't think claiming a dragon is exactly what she needs to do. So, she needs to be herself and claim her own inner dragon before that egg is ever going to hatch for her. Before any dragon is ever going to be like, "Hey, yay, you're my girl." No, she's not ready inside yet. It would be more like that one little Targaryen girl that claimed uh, Balerion, and I can't remember what her name is. It did not end well. Okay, it was dark and messed up. But with that, I I don't want Rhaena to claim him. She's not worthy just yet. And Morning, I really do want to see Morning. I love dragons. I have since I first picked up the books by Anne McCaffrey, Dragon Riders of Pern. Okay, I love dragons, and I want to see more, and I want to see Morning, and I want to see Rhaena come into her own and claim her dragon inside as well as her outer dragon. I want to see that, and I want to see Nettles. I really do. And I do not think that they're not going to give us Nettles. There was that one little clip uh, as Hugh the Hammer during the the Red Sowing, when all the dragon seeds were making their way to King's Landing. There was that one girl right behind Hugh that I'll put a picture over here in a minute. She looks like what Nettles would look like, and you only see her that one time as they're walking to the boats, and then you don't see her in any of the other scenes with Rhaenyra in the dragon area as they're trying to claim dragon, and Ulf is falling and running, and it was a great scene. If you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it. Anyway, you don't see her at all, and I've looked. And so my thought is that is Nettles, and they just have not cast her yet. And it truly, like I said in the beginning of the video, it gives us that bone to gnaw on, that conversation to keep things going until Dunk and Egg come out. And then again, House of the Dragon season 3. They want us talking about it. And they know that everyone wants Nettles. So I do not think they're not going to give us Nettles. We're going to get her. They gave us that little bit of, little crumb, little bitty crumb of a clip behind Hugh, and I think that we will get her in the next season. I think that as the word is going around King's Landing, Rhaenyra is saying, "Come to Dragonstone." I don't even think she's thinking about being a Targaryen. I don't think she's even going to be thinking about, "I want a dragon." Nettles is a survivor. She has spent her life on the streets surviving by herself by any means necessary. And so when Rhaenyra's like, "Come on, let's go over to here. I got food too. I just sent y'all some." Nettles is a survivor. She's like, "I'm out of King's Landing. There's a free ride. I'm gone." And as she gets there, she they land on the shore of Dragonstone as Hugh and Ulf make their way to the castle this way to go claim their dragons and their birthright. Yay, all that good junk, they deserve it. I kind of like them, even though it's going to go bad. Even though it's, going to go bad. I won't say too much. I think Nettles was just, again, I want to survive. I want to eat. I want to live. And she bounces off the other way because in the books, Dragonstone, there is a lot more to it than just a big castle with some dragons, okay? And some artwork that the children carved down in the caves back in the day. There's a little village and stuff like that. So I think she's planning on making a new life there. And as she's making her way from the beach to that place, saying bye bye Dragonstone, and I ain't going there. I'm going to just go over here and live. In comes Sheepstealer, having left Rhaena at the Vale. And as he sees Nettles, he's like, "Hey, girl." And they have their moment and they are able to bond. Perhaps there will be some sheep, flock that's running on Dragonstone because that's what they feed the dragons anyway. So I'm sure they raise them there as well. So get the sheep and feed it to Sheepstealer, and that's how that part of the story gets started. Or maybe she stumbles across Sheepstealer already there, and he has just eaten, and so he's feeling good and full, and he's a little bit more compliant to her coming and trying to bond with him. Um, but I think a lot of it is much more to do with the character of the person, much like Hugh and Vermithor. Vermithor's an old, angry dragon that has had losses. He lost Jaehaerys, who was his only rider, and Hugh lost his daughter, and they are old and grumpy and fierce. And when Hugh went, "Rawr," and come on, it called to Vermithor that part of him that was like Hugh. I don't know with Ulf how that's going to play out. Maybe Silverwing is just like, he is a silly, goofy guy. I like him. Maybe she's lonely, as has been mentioned several times throughout the show from season 1 through season 2. From little Laena Valerian asking Viserys, or where's Bagar nesting now, and how she may be in the last one from, or she is the last of old Valyria, and well, maybe dragons get lonely, and the scene with Rhaenyra and talking about how Laenor's dragon is making more noise, and Massaria saying maybe he's lonely, maybe Silverwing is lonely and sees just someone nice to bond and hang out with in Ulf. But with Sheepstealer, as I've mentioned earlier in the video and throughout a little bit, he's like Nettles. He's wild. He's unclaimed. He has never been claimed. He's fierce. He's bold. He's a big, brown, ugly dragon that I think will call to her and she will call to him. And I think that that would be a really cool way to go. And it's at least what I hope somewhat will happen. Because again, I want to see Nettles with Sheepstealer. I want to see Rhaena claim her dragon again, inside and out. I want to see those changes as much as I want to see so much other things that are supposed to happen in season 3, season 4, however long they go. Um, it's going to be some great stuff. I'm very excited to see it. I'm very excited to be here with you and diving into the world of Ice and Fire. And please leave a comment. Tell me what you would like to see. Would you want to see Nettles claim Sheepstealer? Are you cool with Rhaena? Did you like season 2? What were your favorite moments? And perhaps what video would you like to see next? Anyway, I really did enjoy hanging out with you guys, and I hope to see you back here on my channel again soon. You guys have a great day. Bye.